Anyone that knows me know that I am not one who espouses hatred towards a group of people, individuals, another ethnic group, religious group, or what have you. I don't espouse hate, and I never have, and I never will. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are not in a dilemma, but we are at a turning point in this land that we all say we love, called America. We're not all treated fairly. And I know you know that this video is about the mistreatment and the misappropriation of justice, the disparaging way in which justice is used as it relates to whites versus blacks versus any other ethnic group and so forth. In other words, we all know. Now, sometimes people think, well, you're just in your feelings. You're just sensitive. Well, the sensitive part might be correct. Who wouldn't be sensitive or in your feelings if you're being mistreated? And we're not talking about isolated situations. We're talking about mistreated on a regular basis, where that mistreatment of a particular group of people, which happen to be black in America, when that mistreatment is systemic, it is part of the American fabric. In other words, it is American culture to mistreat black people. Now, some will say, well, you are out of your mind, crazy, sick, and what have you. There are black entertainers and black sports figures and so forth. Those who make those assertions and those statements, don't you know I have common sense? I'm aware of that. But what I am also aware of, as many of us black folks are, is that most of these people in entertainment, be it sports, music, theater, movies, and otherwise, most of them in entertainment don't reach down and help their brethren up. They don't pull any other blacks up. I said most. And unfortunately, it is the vast majority of blacks in entertainment. They are selfish. They are only there for themselves. Once they arrived, as it were, they forgot where they came from, what the history of the black man has been and still is in America presently, how there is indeed systemic racism continually in America, regardless of what station you find yourself as a black person, whether you work in some high office in politics or some corporation or in the judicial system or in government period or even in religious sect. You are still looked at as a black man, and you're still looked at as a second class citizen. You just happen to be one that has a little bit more than the rest of us. But be that as it may, we have been, our ancestors before us have been abused, killed, mistreated, and ostracized from mainstream America, even though we are here. And nothing has changed. And I got a little teary-eyed earlier watching some news clippings of some teenagers that had been killed by the police, and the police officers were charged with murder. Antoine Rose was one, Laquan McDonald was another, and there's an older man that was killed a couple years ago, Walter Scott in South Carolina, shot in the back by a police officer. And all of these, I believe, were found guilty, these police officers. But out of the other dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of white police officers shooting black men who were unarmed or who did not present a threat to them, they went free. Now, America, as you're looking at this right now, can you tell us why? Why is there such a disparage of justice as it relates to blacks? Why is there white courtrooms for whites and black courtrooms for blacks? In other words, why is it that when black folks go to court, we're the only ones in the court for the most part, unless it's a deputy sheriff, the judge, or the prosecutor and the defense attorney? For the most part, 99.9% of the time. But all of the white folks that commit crimes or similar crimes or even worse crimes, we never see those in the courtroom when we're there. Cocaine dealers and addictions and so forth, they're never there in the courtroom when black folks are there. I've been in people's court cases before. I've been in the courtroom. Majority black folks. Always. As if there's only a system to prosecute or adjudicate just black folks. When do white people go to jail? When are they arraigned and when are they sentenced and convicted and black folks are there to witness that? Just something to think about. And if you don't think that what I'm saying is true, start visiting some court cases. Go to your local courthouse. I mean, it's a public venue. You can go there and sit down as long as you behave and watch some court cases and see how many prominent or affluent white folks you see in court. That should tell you something. We have to stop wearing the blinders, my white friends, my black friends as well, and see things the way they really are. So black folks, listen to me clearly. It's time to stop blaming white people for white people criminal behavior. We all know how things began, and we all know that we're here and that nothing is going to change. Barack Obama didn't do anything to benefit the struggle of black people in America. Do you think Donald Trump is? No. George Bush didn't. Bill Clinton didn't. Ronald Reagan definitely didn't. Richard Nixon didn't. No president ever did anything to benefit black folks. If they did, we would see it, we would feel it, and we would be exuberant if it happened. And it hopefully would have been perpetual. But one thing that is definitely perpetual is the abuse and miscarriage of justice as it relates to us. So what's the answer? How do we effect change? Black people, we do it ourselves. Start with you. Start with yourself. You are the change. We are the change. But my friends, listen to me very carefully before I leave. Don't just simply talk about it. Make sure you do something about it. I'm not talking about committing any violent crimes against someone else because you're frustrated. I'm saying start with your own life. Get your act together. Get your life together. Start your own business. Start your own LLC, your own corporation. Start something for you and your family's future. And unite yourself with other like-minded blacks. That's it, and that's all.